Things that I wish that I knew when my husband and I left the polygamist religion we were born and raised in. I thought that I was going to have to share him and have sister wives. We were told to lie about it. I've had the most bizarre, crazy shit happen. My brother took his life a little over 8 years ago. This has got to stop.
So fascinating. You have gone through so much. Tell me about your childhood.
My dad had 46 kids. He was abusive in every way. It was always taught, you do what the man says and you will obey. The brainwashing and the toll that it takes, that's scary. I got married at 18. Who the hell let me do that? He was like, I don't know if I want multiple wives.
I would be like, am I enough?
When I gave birth to my daughter, me and my husband were like, she can't live like that.
Is your story going to be something you're going to be just very honest about?
What is even appropriate to tell a 7-year-old?
Do you ever get scared that you left the church?
There's a lot of fear. I know that there are people living that way that don't want to, and they don't know how to get out.
What do you want people to take away?
I felt bitter and angry because of the way that I grew up, but you can't live life like that. Get up, get the out and leave.
So Ashley, thank you for being here on Khloé in Wonderland. You did, I think it was a podcast for someone else, and I saw it on TikTok, and you were talking about your story and all that you've been through. And your story is so fascinating, but something that really drew me to you is you have so much grace and compassion for all the players in your life. And from what I saw, you didn't come from this place of this victim stance. You came from a place of really wanting to educate and inform and talk about your journey. It's really a beautiful way to position life and to position all that you've gone through. And I really was so enamored by you and your energy and all that. And so I really wanted you to come on, and I'm so grateful that you did.
That's so cool. I appreciate that. I feel so honored to share my story with you. I'm like such a vibey person, and I just feel like just like a calm vibe about you.
So well, good.
I've shared it before, but I feel like it's always nerve-wracking the first time, and so I feel like I feel more comfortable to just share more and be more vulnerable. So I'm happy to do that with you.
So honored that you're on. I really do. And I know you flew in from Utah today. So thank you for doing that. So first, I wanted you to tell the viewers, the listeners, about your childhood and who you are, the type of family that you were born into, because I don't know if a lot of people know about your history.
I grew up in a very broken version of polygamy growing up. So my dad had 6 wives at one point, but my family split up when I was 2 years old. And I like to say that I grew up in like a divorced home, like to the next level, because there's just so many adults involved. And my mom chose to stay with my dad, whereas the other wives left. And I feel like that also like added a lot into my life and maybe more trauma because my mom chose to stay.
So what was your living situation like? So your dad had 6 wives. Were the 6 wives, so you guys all have different, like one wife, like your mom and your siblings would be in one home, and then every wife in their own?
So before my family split up, they actually all lived in trailers, in like a trailer court, and no heat, no AC, like they were just scraping by. And it's just like for every family so different, but that's how it was for mine. Like everybody had their own trailer. But then when my family split up, we moved to like a little town called Lehigh in Utah until I was about 5. And then my dad wanted to start like his own like community of the religion down a little bit south in Utah in a little town called Mayfield. It never ended up really happening. Like a few people moved down there, but I lived there like up until I moved out at 17.
You guys were raised, is it FLDS?
So I think that's like the most common one that people know is FLDS, and that's like Warren Jeffs. So I grew up in the AUB. I don't know if you've heard of the show Sister Wives.
Yes.
So the Browns, I grew up in the same religion as them.
And in that religion, AUB, is polygamy taught?
Yeah, it's very like you need to live this way. That's like the main purpose of living that religion is to have multiple wives, or live plural marriage is what they call it, because that gets you to eternal heaven.
I was watching the documentary that you suggested.
Keep Sweet, Pray, Obey. So
Keep
that's
Sweet.
the Warren Jeffs one, yes.
So I watched that. Man, that was hard to watch. I actually didn't finish the end because I was like,
It's like
this
a
is
lot.
gross. I can't handle this. Especially when you have kids.
I know.
Things
Like
are just
everything hits
different.
different when you're a mom.
Everything.
Everything.
So it was hard. And then of course, I'm very empathetic. I was like, oh, then I'm thinking about you and like what any of this is something that correlated with your life. It was a lot. So in the documentary, it's saying about the more wives you have, the more you're going to get into heaven. But it's all about the male perspective. And then someone's interviewed another gentleman and they're like, so the producer was like, okay, you keep talking about the men. Where do the women go when they go to heaven? And it's just like constant laughter. And they were like, oh, we don't really know. Like the women are not held in any high regard from what I gathered.
Yeah.
Is that how you felt when you were in that religion?
Yeah, I feel like everybody's experience can be different.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, growing up, I do feel like it was very much like you do what the man says. He's the head of the house and you will obey. And so I guess growing up, I was exposed to a lot of things. Like I would say Warren Jeff's polygamy was like the FLDS is a lot like more intense than the one that I grew up in. I would say mine is one of the quote unquote better ones to grow up in for sure. But I feel like it also depends on like the family that you were raised in. And for me, we were like, maybe we didn't have Warren Jeffs, but we still had pedophiles that were always allowed to be at our house. And they know that they're creeps. Why are they always at our house every day, hitting on us, all these inappropriate things? And it was always just taught like, it doesn't matter. Like you don't really get a choice. And as a woman, and that always like bugged me, but it was like hard in that sense of like finding your voice and also being told you don't really have one.
Right. And it sounds like your mom, I imagine she got married young.
Very young.
And it sounds, and I have no idea, but a little bit of your story, I would imagine maybe your mom was sort of groomed or put into this position herself.
Yeah, I think that she was 17.
Yeah.
And my dad is 24 years older than her. So she was 17 and he was like 40 years old. And I think as I've become a mom, it's just like making me realize even more how messed up some things are. And she didn't really get a say. Like it was just like, well, this guy's interested in me and what they do is courting. And so he asked about her to her dad and then her dad said, yeah, you can date her. And some dads are like awesome and they're like, nope, she's not interested, you can't date. Some are like, no, you have to give it a shot. And that's how my mom's dad was, that's how my dad was. And so
your dad would say yes on your behalf.
Yeah, and just like tell my sisters like, well, you have to give him a shot. My sister had to date this like way older man and she was like so creeped out by him and was just like, no, I don't want to. But my dad made her and he like came to our house. We had dinner with him. That's kind of like how the courting starts is like you get to know them and start dating them. And sometimes they have multiple wives. So then you get to know the other wives. And this guy didn't have other wives yet, but my sister was young. She was probably 17, 18. And I just remember it being so uncomfortable. And I was younger because I'm like 5 years younger than her. And I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah. And that's traumatizing in and of itself, just being a witness to that. You have such compassion and grace for people, especially the ones that maybe put you in the line of fire at times. And it says so much about your integrity and character of a person. But I would fight if it were me, like, okay, I love and respect my mom. And I also have empathy because her parents didn't protect her. So she knows no better.
Yeah.
But then you're also like, but you should know better.
Not okay.
Yes.
Because I feel that
so
exactly
I would
what you're
be
saying.
torn into two ways.
Yeah.
And so when I was researching your story is like, like you want to be like, why did you do that to me?
Yeah.
But then you're like, but someone did that to
you.
you. So I get it.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure, you know, at this point or when she was 17 until she had all 12 of you guys, probably the brainwashing that was happening to
Yeah.
her young mind. Like
17 is so little.
So little.
So little.
I know we feel so grown at 17, but we're not.
I know
but
you feel grown at 17 because I
Yes.
got married at 18 and I'm like, who the hell let me do that?
Totally. I got married at 24
No,
and I question
that's
all that.
still
I'm
so
always like,
young.
24. I mean,
Yeah.
it was amazing, but I'm like, that is a baby.
A baby. Yeah.
Yes, but I can't understand maybe the two angels you have on your shoulder, like, because you also want to be entitled to your feelings about like, to be that little girl, like, mommy, I want help, protect me. But then you're also sort of wanting to be a mother to her.
I still go through this right now because being a mother myself, I'm like, but how could you? Because I grew up the same way and I was like, no, this isn't okay.
Right.
And I was able to like work through that and be like, no, find my voice. I don't like this. This isn't okay. And it was becoming a mom that made me leave, that helped me leave, because when I gave birth to my daughter, I'm going to get emotional.
Aww.
That was just like the change for me, because me and my husband were like, she can't live like that. That's not the life that we want for her. And we want her to be loved and protected and cared for because that's what she deserves. And so then, like, I have that tug and pull with my mom because I'm like,
why didn't you
the
do that
second
for
I
us?
became a mother, I was like, no, this isn't okay. But then I still have that compassion where I'm like, well, crap, you didn't even get a chance.
Right.
You were so young, got married so young, just kept popping babies out every 2 years.
And also having that many kids too, the postpartum, the way that we feel about ourselves, and sometimes
it messes with you.
Yeah, it does. And we do become sometimes weaker emotionally, or like we don't feel like we have the strength to do certain things sometimes. I feel bad because your mom is still a person too. Like sometimes we put our parents on these pedestals.
It's her first time living too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that many kids, it does affect you.
And not only that, but like I had other siblings coming to our house all the time. She was having to mother them too. And anytime some of my older siblings were like lashing out, having struggles, they would send them to our house. And then we would deal with the repercussions of my brothers in these crazy phases of their life.
Yeah.
On top of like just my mom not being able to emotionally be there.
Have you ever left a doctor's appointment with results in hand, but still no real understanding of what they actually mean? Or what are you supposed to do next? Or maybe you felt like something in your body was off, but the answers kept coming back as fine. That loop of uncertainty is exhausting. Hers understands. As women, we're often told to listen to our bodies, but too often we're left without the information to actually understand them. And when reassurance alone isn't enough, knowing what's really going on inside your body matters. Hers is rethinking the outdated healthcare system to finally give women what they deserve. Care that's convenient, supportive, built around real needs, and backed by experts in women's health. This is about clarity, not guesswork. Hers now provides convenient access to in-depth holistic lab testing with more than 130 biomarker tests designed to give meaningful insight to your health, and results that make it easier to understand what's actually going on inside your body instead of leaving you with more questions. If eligible, you get access to a doctor-developed action plan based on your results, with diet and lifestyle guidance to help you move towards your goals. So you're not just handed information, you're supported through what comes next. Hers also offers personalized treatment plans for heart health, menopause, and so much more. It's a new level of clarity, one that gives data-backed confidence to make informed health decisions, so feeling like yourself again doesn't feel so far away. If you want clearer insight into your health, go to forhers.com and schedule your labs today. That's FORHERS.com, forhers.com. So you grew up AUB religion and being in a polygamous family. Do you go to a regular school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not everybody does, but I did. We live far away from any of the other communities. Like I said, my dad tried to start one, didn't happen. And so I went to the public school that was just 10 minutes away from me. And I'm grateful for that in ways, because I feel like at first it was hard, because in elementary school it's fun, middle school kids get mean. And I grew up in a small town, so everybody knows everything about everybody, and I would get made fun of for being a polygamist. And I didn't really feel like I had anywhere to turn to, because anytime I would come to my parents, they wouldn't hear me. And so that was a tough time in my life. But then high school got better, and I was on the soccer team and I loved it. And that's kind of what kept me in school, because I did not love school.
Yeah.
I didn't love to do homework or learn or do any
Yeah.
of those things, but I loved sports and I loved making friends.
It's probably a good outlet for you.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure.
Do you think going to a regular school, because I know some of the, was it Mormon? Is the religion's Mormon? No?
Kind of, it's so confusing, because the LDS church, they don't really like being called Mormons anymore, because I think years and years ago they used to practice polygamy, and then one day there was this thing called the Mormon Manifesto, and the president of the church, Wilford Woodruff, was like, we're no longer practicing polygamy. So they haven't done that for a very long time. But then when that happened, there were tons of breakoffs of different polygamous religions. And the one that I grew up in, the AUB, is just one of those many breakoffs.
Understood.
The FLDS, Warren Jeffs, one of the many breakoffs.
Understood.
And they all believe just slightly different things, and some of them are just a lot more crazy than the others.
A lot of the ones that have their own compounds, if you will, it seems like they funnel in specific education. So a lot of kids aren't even exposed to what could be happening in their lives. They think this is so normal. So I wonder if, like you were saying, but I knew this was wrong. I knew I didn't like this. I also wonder if that's because you went to a public school and maybe got a little exposure to what was really happening.
Yeah. Well, I'm just an observer. I feel like I learn from observing other people, and I would notice my friends' lives and their families and be like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's different. And I would go and hang out at my best friend's house for months, and my parents wouldn't even ask where I was. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. My friends' parents are always calling them and texting them all the time.
Right.
My parents don't even care where I am.
So that's interesting, because I always felt like in those religions it was, and maybe this is just my ignorance, it was a little more cult-like, where they wanted to keep eyes on you guys more, because no one wanted to be exposed, right?
I really think that it depends on the family
that
you're in. I really think my mom was just so checked out with so many kids, and
that's a lot.
My dad was just doing whatever the crap he was doing, and I was just doing whatever I was doing.
But do you maybe in hindsight appreciate that you had a little more freedom, because maybe you didn't have to go through, because you're part of the youngest.
Yes.
Right, out of the 12.
Because my dad had 46 kids, give or take.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to us. No, sometimes we didn't even know if we'd get Christmas. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
I think I was number 38. I'm one of the youngest of them, because I was 2 and my family split up. My mom was pregnant with my brother just below me. And then my mom stayed with my dad and had a few more kids with him. So yeah.
A lot of kids.
Yeah.
Are you close with all your 12 siblings?
No. It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm close with a few of them, probably about half. But I think it's hard because some of them are still in that religion, and I don't care if you're I know so many people that still live that way, and they're really good people, and they're just trying their best, and they truly believe that they're doing what is right.
Right.
But sometimes it does cause that divide. If you choose to leave, then people are kind of well, you're a bad example. I don't really want to hang around you.
No, I get that.
But a good portion of my mom's kids have left.
And your mom she's stayed in the religion.
So she just recently left.
Wow.
Within this last year.
Wow.
So she started going to therapy. And
that's also major.
I know,
Yeah.
because growing up, like therapy, mental health, all of that was so stigmatized. You just sweep it under the rug.
Cardi ain't on my level. The only reason she's even relevant is because of her botched ass and face. I just want to tell her, don't ever try to compete with the GOAT of fake asses. Go watch my Anaconda video and learn a thing or two about spectacular butt jobs.